Please detail your deficit reduction priorities. We'll start with Mr.
Could you say that again, please?
Please detail your deficit reduction priorities.
Detail my deficit reduction priority. I'm not sure I know what you mean by that.
Well,
What deficit reduction? My deficit, personally, or?
no, obviously. Part of your job.
Deficit
As
reduction?
a member of the government.
The deficit of the federal government?
Certainly.
Well, this country has had a deficit in all of its legislation, passing out spending, for, well over 100 years, every year. And then it comes back, and the thing is adjusted. The economy is rough, you have a deficit. You strengthen the economy, you bring it back, the deficit is reduced and eliminated. All of those things happen. This whole process is fluctuational, and it can be done very well. We know that for the most important way to spend money, our money, your money, the money that you send to the federal government in federal taxes, the most effective way to spend that is internally, here in our own country, in the internal needs. Look at the situation in roads and bridges, for example, across this country, how bad they are, and how as a result of the stimulus bill, we've been able to begin to change this. I don't know if you take a ride along Route 28, for example, but if you take a ride along Route 28 all through Ulster County, a very long road, you will see how much that is improved as a result of this stimulus bill. And so many other things that are being done positively. And upgrading the economy by creating jobs and generating economic growth, putting money into new ideas and new industries, generating the economy. As I said, the national economy is 9.6% rather. We have 7.6%. We're doing a lot of things to generate jobs here and stimulate this economy. That's what needs to be done. That's how this deficit situation can be dealt with. It's how it was dealt with before. Unfortunately, some people waited until wars to get it done. We need to do it internally in the internal needs here.
Mr. Fellows.
Well, I'm deeply troubled that a member of the House Appropriations Committee could not even begin to fathom that we have a deficit problem. And I think this underscores the problem in Washington, D.C. right now, that we have a almost $2 trillion budget deficit this year. My opponent said that he wanted another $1 trillion into the failed stimulus. And look around. How are your families doing? How are your friends doing? Are they finding jobs here in Ulster County and New York State? Or are they leaving for other states right now? Are they finding jobs anywhere? I don't think the stimulus has been so wonderful. And again, I find it deeply troubling that a senior member of Congress can't even begin to start to fathom that we have a deficit problem. $14 trillion in our national debt right now. Our future is at stake right now. We're forfeiting our future, our children's future, and our grandchildren's future. Right now, the 3 wealthiest counties in the country are in the Washington, D.C. suburbs. What does that tell you? Washington is growing, but New York State keeps losing jobs, keeps shedding jobs. It's not the place it was where we grew up. My priorities are threefold. One, we need to scour the federal government for waste and inefficiencies. We need something like Ronald Reagan had, the Grace Commission, business leaders doing an audit of the federal government, scouring for waste. Ronald Reagan found that 1/3 of federal spending was wasteful and inefficient, made recommendations for cutting it that would still preserve and protect Social Security, Medicare, and veterans' benefits. We need to do that. Number 2, we need to consolidate and eliminate unnecessary federal agencies. Why do we have almost as many people working in the Department of Agriculture right now as we do farmers? Why? We need to consolidate these agencies, agriculture, interior, and energy. And my plan would go into one agency of land and resources. We could cut through levels and levels and levels of bureaucracy. And then number 3, let's roll back this spending spree. Why did we have the failed stimulus, and why on top of that did we have increases like 40% in commerce, 20% in agriculture? We're spending money we don't have. This is unacceptable.